Hey everybody, I'm here in my garage, and as you can see here, I have a bunch of CRTs next to me. And that's because this video is about a CRT repair, but not a circuit repair. In this one, I'm going to repair the plastic on a CRT, and in particular, an old Apple monitor. And that plastic broke because I decided last year, or maybe 2 years ago at this point, to ship an Apple monitor across the United States, all the way from New Jersey back to my place here in California. And I didn't know what I was doing. So when I got the CRT at my place and I opened the box, I was surprised with a lot of broken plastics. So in this video, I'm gonna show you how I went about repairing it as best as I could. All right, so let's get started. Tonight I'm working on a project that I've been holding off on doing for some time, but I think tonight is going to be the night. A little bit over a year ago, I bought this Apple IIc while I was on a road trip in New York, and I decided to ship it to myself from New York via FedEx ground. Unfortunately, I did a very, very poor job of packaging the CRT. And as you can see here, some of the plastic broke off. And what I'm going to try to do is use a method that I saw somebody doing online and combine some fiberglass filler. And I bought this from a local marine store. Description below. So if you're looking to get something like this, it's a fine powder that you can combine with, let's say, some super glue. And if you make a mixture with this fine powder, you can basically fix some of these larger broken plastics because the powder acts as a reinforcement inside. So I'm gonna try that out. The first thing I'm going to have to do is carefully remove this cover off, and so I can see the extent of the damage. I think it's just like just this big piece of plastic right there, and this one may come out pretty good. This one I'm a little bit worried because you can see here the crack is fairly severe. So, yeah, hopefully I can at least make it functional. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect because at this point, I just want it to be, structurally sane, or at least look like it's structurally sane, and I'll have an Apple IIc that works. But let me take this off, and we can go from there. I just turned this around and I noticed that I also have a huge hit right here. Oh, yeah, when you're shipping CRTs, be careful. If you can avoid shipping a CRT, it's probably better just to drive across the country, because odds are you're gonna end up with some really bad broken plastic. This is very brittle. And it's kind of falling apart. But hey, I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna see how it goes. Right now, I'm gonna take this cover off. I think I can just lift it off. Maybe. I took 1, 2, 3, 4 screws off, and I don't see any other screws holding this. Let's see, I don't see anything else holding it. So I'm gonna try to kind of pull it off, see what happens. So as I was taking this apart, I felt some pressure down here, and none of this stuff is moving. I would expect the case to kind of come out. This has to go in because it's kind of loose in there. So as this case comes out, this cable starts going in. Then I think I can probably unplug it in there. Otherwise, you would have had to have this case kind of dangling with the end of the cable stuck to it. But anyway, going back to what I just found, see these little inserts in here? They're little rubber inserts, and I'm using a I think you would call this a dental pick. I bought this many years ago. It's useful for stuff like this. You can just pull it out, and then inside of those is a screw. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more screws here, which are, it's probably holding the board to the chassis. So I'm going to take those 5 and then continue sliding this out. Okay, so I wanted to point out something that as I'm taking this apart, amazes me, honestly. This is a monitor from the 80s, and even back then, Apple took great care into making sure their design and their aesthetics was unparalleled. I mean, look at this. They painted the screws that go in the back here so that it matched the color of the plastic. And these little rubber pieces that were covering the bottom screws, they're color matched to the color of the plastic. I mean, these screws are rarely ever going to be seen because they lay flat, yet they took the effort, they made the effort of color coding or color matching, sorry, the little rubber inserts that cover the screws in the bottom of the case. It's amazing. I mean, this is back then in the 80s, Apple was already, taking their design and the aesthetics of their machines so seriously that they went to the effort of making those color matched little rubber inserts. Just amazing. Also, one great tool that you should have is a magnet tool like this, because this will let you get the screws out like that without too much effort. And I'm gonna put links in the description for the tools that I'm using, which is this magnet, the dental pick, this little screwdriver that I use. It has a magnet at the bottom as well, and it's reversible. So you have Phillips on this side, and then flathead, and it just reverses. Then you insert this into the base, and now you have a flathead. Then you flip it, you have a Phillips. Very useful for computer work, especially since it has a magnet at the bottom. And yeah, it makes working on this super easy. Yeah, like I said, if you want to see those, if you want to get those tools, the links are going to be in this description. Let me continue doing this. I just have one more screw, and then I'll finally, hopefully, take that off. Okay, moment of truth. Does this come out? Oh! Oh man, I have to be careful. Oh, I see. Alright, check this out. This has a hole in the back. The fitting was so good that it looked like it was this. Alright, you see? Check it out. This panel was a cutout. One thing that I do have to remove here is the power switch. Oh, okay. The power button right here, it's attached to this screw. bracket over here. So that has to come out. And then there's the power button. And here's this part right here. So you can see here, I do see some damage right here. There's probably some plastic pieces that are flying around inside the monitor, so I'm gonna have to look around for that. So you can see here, there's some damage there too. And even up here, one of the clips, one of these little tabs, not clips, tabs, broke off. So you can see here. I don't know if I'm gonna fix those. If I find them, I will reattach them. But yeah, inside here, not much to see. Serviceman warning. Okay, that's a warning over here that talks about working with CRTs. Yeah, one thing to note: if you're ever working on a CRT monitor, you need to be very careful. There is high voltage inside here. This monitor has been up for some time, but it can still be charged. One way to this right here has a high voltage flyback, and it has to be discharged. But I'm not going to be touching that area, so I'm just going to continue working on the plastics and not mess with the electronics. Yeah, so let's see here. Okay, so as you can see here, I have this part right here to fix. This one looks like as soon as I try to pull it back towards me, it's gonna break off. And this one right here, I might start with this one. This also looks like it might break off even more as soon as I try to pull it. And down here, I have this entire piece here that needs to be reattached. Not sure how that's gonna work out. I may have to take off the entire board. I don't know about that because the CRT is, let me see. And yeah, I think I'm not sure which one to start with. Let me start with the big one on the other side because it's the most obvious. Let me do that. Okay, so if I start pulling it back, let me see here. So this, okay, so maybe, all right. I think I see what I have to do. This is, the plastic is kind of wedged over, so I have to push this side in and then that out. Let me do this with some help with the dental pick and see if I can do it without causing too much more damage. All right, so let me see here. Nice, okay. Let me get the other one over here. Okay, kind of got this one aligned over here. Oh, there you go. All right. Now, I don't know. I can't lever. I can't. Okay, this one is aligned right here, pretty good. Now I gotta get this side over here. Yes. Okay. All right. So that looks pretty good. Right there. All right, so what I'm gonna do now is I have another tool which I'm gonna bring right now and show you guys. Okay, and so this is the secret weapon. It's an electric hot knife. And I got this from Amazon. I'm gonna put the link down below so you can get one if you want. But it's a blade, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of create some hot. I'm gonna basically melt the plastic together on the other side and over here internally, where I kind of like weld the plastic internally here to make sure that this kind of sticks together and doesn't move. So kind of risky, but I think that's gonna be a better bet than super glue in this case. So you can see here, it's got a little manual. I don't know what that is, and I've never used this before. It's brand new in the box, but it has a bunch of adapters here, like tips for different types of weld. I think I'm gonna do something like that one right there. Let's see how it goes. Looks pretty good, kind of menacing. So I press this and it heats up really quick. Well, that's way too big. I need something fine. Where are the other ones? All right, so this is the gun. What is this? Interesting. I can kind of like do that. That's one option. What is this? I could do this. That's another option. Oh my god, this is pretty scary. That's another option. This is like a serious weapon. I don't need that. What is this? I should read the manual, shouldn't I? But I'm not going to. Just gonna plug it in and use it. I don't know what that is. And this one right here. This one goes shh. This might work. I'll just do it very carefully like that. Shh. All right. Let me heat this up and see what I end up doing here. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this really scary tool. I read the instructions. I'm supposed to put this in the middle somewhere. Unfortunately, the middle is not clear, so I'm going to put it somewhere where I thought I think the middle is, because if you see here, there's no markings where the direction is to be hot or cold. So I'm just going to put it. If I go this way, that's the end. If I go that way, that's the end. So maybe I'll just go like 2 turns, and they said to put it like that, and then place this on the plastic, and then I'm going to press the button, and it should melt it. Let me see. Okay, I did something pretty good. Let me see. Let me see if I can zoom in. See, you can see there. There's gonna be a line. Okay, I did something. That's good. It's a good sign. Let's see. That's good. Let me try the other side over here. This one's a little bit more complicated. Let me just finish this one off right here. Oh, that's really good. That did really good. Let me see if I can just do it like this. That's awesome. Okay, that's very strong actually. So you can see that came out really good. Very sturdy now. So I'm gonna go ahead and move to the other side over there. Let's see here. This one's gonna be a little bit harder. So there's all this stuff over here, up here, that is blocking. But let me give it a shot. I think I'm gonna have to change the blade. Let me see. Okay, so let me show you the results. So you can see here, I got this as good as I could. It's really strong now, and I don't know if you can see that. You can't really tell very well, but I had to move this board out by removing the screws, and then I kind of burned. I welded that piece of plastic. I used the board itself to wedge the plastic together while I welded, and now I can install the screws back there. And here, as you can see here, did some plastic welding there. It doesn't look pretty, but hey, that's inside. Outside, it's kind of flush. You know, that's okay. And on the other side over here, this looks much better. This big piece of plastic. You can still see where the crack is, but again, it's flush, and once I put the case back on, at least it'll look presentable. But yeah, let me put it back together, and I'll also take a look inside to see if I find any other plastic pieces just dangling around. But let me put it back together and then turn it on and see if it works. Okay, so this is the final product. As you can see here, this is the one that was caved in. At least now it's structurally, you know, better. You can still see the crack, unfortunately. And here too, you can see some more damage, and here. But I guess I'm stuck with that. That's what I get for shipping it wrong. As long as it works, I have to plug it in and see if it works. I think it does. So you can see here, this is still broken, but it's not coming apart. And this is the top part right here, which is not coming apart. So yeah, let me set up the computer. Oh, I have to show you one more thing that I found, which unfortunately I'm gonna have to live with as well. One second. Okay, so here's the monitor, and yeah, there's one more crack right here, and this one I'm not gonna do anything about. This is really unfortunate. That's what happens with this plastic is from 1986, and the year right now is 2022. That is really old, brittle plastic. So you know, if you ever ship this stuff, pat it really well and give it some wiggle room, because you do not want to have to deal with all these broken plastics. It makes something that was perfect look like was coming from a garbage dump. So yeah, let me, like I said, set it up. Let me do some cleanup here and see if the computer works. Okay, here we are, the moment of truth. First, power on the monitor. So we got power here, and now I'm gonna plug in, power up the computer. Oh, nice! Apple IIc. Check disk drive. Well, I'm gonna end this video right here. If you'd like to get any of the tools that I used in this video, check the description. I'll put links there, and you can go check them out. And yeah, stay tuned for the next video in this series. I'm going to try to see what I can do with this Apple IIc. I have a feeling that this drive is bad. I've tried to put floppies in there before and it doesn't work, so I'll have to probably take that one apart and see what's going on. Well, till next time, thank you.